Welcome back, FLR community. I hope you are all well and having an absolutely fantastic day as always. Now, today we're going to look over agents, and we're going to watch a short clip of Hugo saying what it really means to stake Spark on the FLR network. As we already know, agents are responsible for providing collateral for the F asset system. We're first going to listen to what Hugo has to say and then talk about it in a little bit more depth. Let's jump in.
Different.
So staking traditionally, proof of stake is staking to secure the network. And that's what gives you the safety guarantees of a network. FLR derives those safety guarantees from Federated Byzantine Agreement. So we use our token as stake for a totally different reason. We use our token as stake in the same way that perhaps Maker might use Ethereum or any of those assets as stake to enable the issuance or transformation of an asset from something to something else. People might consider FLR to be what's known as a synthetic, so the FLR assets to be known as synthetic assets. However, the key point to understand there is that you can't just mint FLR assets, so FXRP or any of the other F assets. You can't just mint them ad infinitum. So technically with a synthetic asset, you could mint just an unlimited amount. The agents who have parked collateral in the FLR F asset system must have received the underlying asset in order for the FLR representation to be issued. So we're not creating inflation, it's not purely synthetic, and naturally everyone in the system is automatically hedged, and that's really important. So when you create most synthetic assets, you have what's known as a delta. So you tend to be short the asset you're creating because you've parked some collateral, you're long that collateral, and you're short the asset you're creating, assuming that you sell the tokenized asset. And that creates a sort of risk that if those people don't hold the asset, that they have that 100% of that risk there in the case that the asset moves in value. And so our method of dealing with that is that the people that have parked the collateral receive the underlying asset.
So there we have it, that's agents on the FLR network, and agents will actually receive the underlying asset being minted as a return for staking their Spark tokens. Tokens being minted on the FLR network require 2.5 times the value staked in Spark. In doing so, the agents will receive the underlying asset such as XRP, Litecoin, Dogecoin or XLM in return for their service. Now, I want everyone to know that being an agent is not going to be something that is financially feasible for many people. I imagine during the early days of the FLR network, agents will mainly consist of big companies such as exchanges, for example, who may have the dedicated time and resources to build bespoke software to manage their collateral ratio. Something that's very important to realize with the FLR network is that this collateral level has to be maintained of 2.5. As the price of the underlying assets, the F assets, is ever changing, that means that this collateral ratio is dynamic and is also always changing. This means that agents will have to create software which will manage this process of ensuring that the collateral does not fall between a certain threshold. In fact, the FLR network team have put out a very informative blog detailing what happens if the collateral ratio is breached. It's very important to realize that this process is what makes the FLR network so special and the F asset system as a whole trustless. And you will hear this word a lot, trustless, and it really is what makes the FLR network a step above its competitors. As a user of the FLR network wishing to mint F assets, you will have zero risk because everything will be collateralized by the agents. The user who mints F assets will never be at risk because the excess collateral can be used to redeem the user, paid in Spark. If you haven't already checked out the creation and redemption process video I made, I would highly recommend it. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. If you are yet to subscribe, feel free to do so, and until next time, I'm out.